I suffer from moderate to severe people-pleasing, so I'm taking Selfishness on a daily basis. I've seen the same TikTok commercials over 50 times in a single week, saying it's my best option for saying no and setting boundaries. Now I'm ready for the world!
With Selfishness, you can get the rest you've been looking for from thinking you have to put others above yourself and choosing people who don't choose you back. It's also been shown to treat your symptoms and not the cause in just one day. Selfishness is not for everyone. Side effects may include having difficulty maintaining healthy and satisfying relationships with others due to a lack of empathy, compassion, and generosity. Exploiting, manipulating, or neglecting your partner's friends or family members and expecting them to cater to your whims and demands. As a result, selfish people may experience loneliness, isolation, or conflict in their relationships. Additional side effects may include failure to take responsibility for your actions and blaming others for your failures or problems. Other more severe side effects may include ignoring or denying your own flaws or weaknesses, being greedy, dishonest, or corrupt, indifferent, apathetic, or hostile to the needs, rights, or welfare of others, especially those who are different from you or less fortunate. For women, having an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. For men, menstrual cramps and/or PMS. Contact your doctor immediately if you experience hair loss. People on planet Earth should not take Selfishness.
I used to suffer from people-pleasing, but now all I do is make TikTok videos telling other people to just be as selfish as me.
Be ready for the world with Selfishness. Are you living in your selfish girl era? How about your villain era? Now, I don't want to bust your bubble, my friend, but I think we've been bamboozled as to what selfish actually means. We've all seen the videos.
I'm gonna be a total bitch and I'm gonna get rid of who I have to get rid of and I'm gonna hurt people's feelings and I'm gonna laugh when people cry and I'm gonna own it.
Extremely, extremely selfish. Put yourself first, put your needs first, and don't put anyone else's needs first. Expect this, I expect that. If you can't do it, bye. Go. Gone. Nobody cares anymore. It's 2024. Get selfish.
One thing about me, I'm gonna do what I want for certain at all times.
I want to talk about mending this ideology of selfishness and showing you what true self-care and self-love looks like. Why? Because I'm a Libra and I completely believe in having balance in life. And at the end of the day, you can't veer too far to one side of anything because it's not healthy, right? You can't be too soft where people are just going to run all over you, and it's not appropriate or practical to be extremely selfish to the detriment of other people. Having that happy medium and balance is what we all need to find. Hello, hi, I'm Candace, aka Candy, and on this channel, I help you find the courage to create a life you love. I want to share this helpful video I found where Dr. Micah, I think it's Micah? I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's just go with Dr. Micah. She's a psychologist and she shows what self-care and self-love need to be balanced with in order to not turn into selfishness.
And we can easily see how troublesome it can be if we are lacking in self-love. It usually results in stress, dissatisfaction, and can even lead to illnesses. And I'd like to argue that if we are discussing the difference between self-love and selfishness, what we're really looking at is an unbalanced form of self-focus or self-love. Self-love being a value that needs a sibling, and if it doesn't have that, it comes out of balance, becomes exaggerated, and devalued into selfishness. The question is now, what does self-love need to be balanced out, to be powerful and not become devalued? Or what does someone need to practice who may be selfish? In which direction do they need to grow? And I'd like to argue that this is love, care, and empathy for others. And this value can only be in its full power if it is balanced with self-love. If we are only there for others without being self-loving and self-caring, this will turn into some form of self-denial or self-abandonment. Or we could also say becoming a people pleaser. I recently came across an interesting study that asked people to prioritize these two values. And what the researcher found was that people who placed high priority on both these values were the happiest compared to people who only prioritized one of them or didn't prioritize either of them.
By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more videos like this. And tell me in the comments, do you agree with Dr. Micah's concept on how to balance self-care and selfishness?
Another thing we might ask is, what does this practically mean? What do these values mean in our day-to-day life? And they can mean a big range of things. Practicing these values can mean to express our needs or to ask others about their needs, to fulfill our own needs or to fulfill someone else's needs, to be encouraging to ourselves or others, to listen to ourselves or others, to be accepting of our own emotions or of the emotions of another person. It can mean to be compassionate towards ourselves or others and giving up a very harsh and critical way of looking at ourselves or another person.
Self-care is what we do to fulfill our needs. Self-care means taking care of yourself so that you can be healthy, you can be well, you can do your job, you can help and care for others, and you can do all the things you need to and want to accomplish in a day. If you truly want to implement self-care into your life, then focus on the areas of emotional, physical, and spiritual self-care. Emotional self-care is like your self-talk. It's weekly bubble baths. It's saying no to things that cause unnecessary stress. It's giving yourself permission to take a pause or setting up a weekly coffee date with a friend. Physical self-care is like prioritizing sleep, adopting an exercise routine you can actually stick with, or choosing healthy and nourishing foods. Spiritual self-care are things like taking time in nature, meditating, keeping a gratitude journal, adding some type of regular act of kindness into your day. On the other hand, selfishness, based on social media standards and your favorite influencers, by the way, is very commercialized, and it's based on our wants and desires and what's pleasurable and fun, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting pleasure and fun, and there's definitely nothing wrong with fulfilling our wants and desires. But don't be brainwashed into thinking that being completely selfish is something great you're doing for yourself and your overall life. I wrote down a few examples of what being selfish looks like, so hear me out. Super great ideas. Where's the lie? Consistently prioritizing your own desires and neglecting other people's needs. Exploiting others for your own personal gain with deceptive tactics or emotional manipulation. Being indifferent or oblivious to other people's emotions and struggles and only focusing on your own concerns. Not reciprocating or showing gratitude when people are generous to you. I know a couple people like this, just saying, and the list goes on. So when we say selfish people always win, who are we talking about? Who are these people? Are they the same ones that are surprised at the end of the day when they're alone because they're only good to themselves? Only gonna do what's best for me. Yeah, I don't think so. Not when it means taking and taking and taking from others, being inconsiderate. Yeah, and it's just giving a vibe of lack of empathy. So what am I saying? Don't put other people before you above all. But if you value and care for other people in your life, let them know your boundaries instead of cutting them off or just being a complete Did I just say that? Serenity now, peace and love. Work on yourself, work on your life, work on your peace. Just don't get sucked in the foolishness online. Balance is everything, my friend. So, if you want to learn more about how to get out of the people-pleasing era the proper way, check out this video next.
Some concentration, and if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.